Good morning. Good morning, everybody. I hope we're live right now. I think we are. I have to take my dog quick because it's early. And plus, it's so nice out here. Just day looks like. I call my other dog. You can see my house from in here. Turn that back camera on. Megan, come on. Let's go. Let's go. Good girl. Good girl. Go potty. Go. But look, storm. You have no idea how excited I am about this weather today. It's sprinkling. It's cool. The grass is wet. The dog's going potty. And we're live. It's Tuesday, 7 o'clock on the dot. We are live streaming. How's everybody doing? Everybody excited for this August challenge? August challenge, what's that? Well, if you don't know, you better get in our Discord and find out. I'll drop the link as soon as we get back in here to the studio. Come on, Jackie. Good girl. There we go. There we go. It's much better. Much better. Good morning. How's everybody doing? Another beautiful day. Let me get rid of this. Kick. There we go. Much better. Much better. We are live. We made it. It's Tuesday. I'm up. I'm awake. Sticking to the plan. Sticking to the plan. Who's in our August challenge? Give me a what's up. Give me a thumbs up. Give me some hearts and loves. Good morning, Brant Jensen. It's a beautiful morning. Love it that you guys are in our group. Millie says, hi, Dad. I love you. So that must be, no, that's probably Link. See, you never know who you're talking to when Fleece Weaver's name appears. Doing good, doing good. Right on, brother. So today we're going to go through our book. This is going to be the last day that we're going through this book, Crossroads, and it talks about loving people. We're going to read the just for today. Then we're going to look inside our Discord, which I got to drop the link if people need to jump in there, and look at what our August challenge is, because we are trying to change our life. An addiction, if you're not happy in life, period, like if your life sucks and all you do is whine and complain about it, that's all you're doing is whining and complaining. But if you don't actually take steps to change it and actually pursue change, ain't nothing going to change. So that's what we try to do. We try to look at our lives, we bitch a little bit, and then we say, how can I fix this? And then we actively pursue ways to fix it. So that's what we do. Hi, Linky. That's my boy. Hey, look, I got coffee. You didn't even know I could make my own coffee, did you? Link makes my coffee every day. But he's not here today. He's at grandma's. So, loving people, yo. In our book, and somebody's alarm's going off. It's driving me crazy. That's annoying. I think it's a Millie's. So, relationship problems can both cause addiction and results from addiction. Relationships problems can both cause addiction and results from addiction. When you develop skills in love and reconciliation, you are doing more to resist your temptations than you realize. When AA guides you in self-evaluation, it tells you to start with your own selfishness and then consider its most common expression, resentment. Resentment. Anybody feel resentful this morning? This is what AA says about it. It says resentment is the number one offender. It destroys more alcoholics than any other. And we know that expectations are resentments under construction. Oh my gosh. Zylan. Some live here, and there's an alarm. Somebody's alarm's going off up there. I don't even know why these kids set alarms. They don't do anything with them. Don't get up or nothing. So resentment's the number one offender. And we know that expectations is resentment's under control, under construction. Life is about relationships. How often have you gone back to an addiction because of problems in your relationship? For some, the addiction is not the primary problem and is only a sinful way of dealing with relationship problems. It is a way of managing relationships or the lack of relationships apart from God. That's why dealing with relationships needs to be part of your plan. That's why a recovering addict, we have a biopsychosocial. We go off Terence Gorski's model of healing your biopsychosocial, your body, your mind, and your relationships. And obviously, at the core of that is your relationship with God, right? Your spiritual condition. My mic cut off. Need a new cord. It's probably back on now. But if that happens again, I'm out of here. I'm just going to close it out and go mountain biking because it is a beautiful day. The trail's probably a nice little bit muddy. Not muddy, but just perfect. Calls Island. Tell him to shut off that damn alarm. Relationships in which you have been hurt. Have you been hurt in a relationship? Raise your hand. God's word knows real life. What is God's word? The Bible. It assumes that you have hurt others too. But it also knows that you've been hurt by indifference and selfishness of other people. With this in mind, God's first word to you when you start thinking about your relationship is comfort. God is the good shepherd who seeks and comforts his sheep. Bueno? Okay, good. Brant says, I'm working on step 4, resentments. It's been good to address those hangups, and it's helped me out mentally. For sure. Step 4 is that's where you get down to the root cause of the problem. It's a fact about that. In Isaiah, the book of Isaiah 40, verse 11, it says, he tends his flock like a shepherd. He gathers the lambs in his arms, and he carries them close to his heart. He gently leads those that have young. So as a shepherd looks after his scattered flock when he is with them, so will I look after my sheep. I will rescue them from all the places that they're scattered on a day of clouds and darkness. I will bring them out of the nations and gather them from the countries, and I will bring them into their own land. There they will lie down in a good grazing land, and there they will fill in a rich pasture on the mountains of Israel. I myself will tend my sheep and have them lie down, declares the sovereign Lord. I will search for the lost, bring back the strays. I will bind up the injured and strengthen the weak. But the sleek and the strong I will destroy. I will shepherd the flock with justice. So if you are feeling lost, you feel like you're astray, you're injured, or you need some strength and because you're feeling so weak, there's a promise in there. There's a promise in there that God's going to put you in a pasture, a great, beautiful pasture of comfort. We can trust and rely on that. Step 4, huh? Step 4, getting to the root cause of the problem. Hard work, writing down stuff that you don't want to think about or feel about, you want to forget. And then when you get to step 5, step 4 and step 5 kind of go together. You dig deep in step 4, and then step 5, you go sit in front of somebody and basically read your step 4, confess to God, another person, and yourself, the exact nature of your wrong. And a lot of times we get to the exact nature of our wrong is because we have expectations. There's a story in here about a husband. He tried his best to love his wife, only expected one thing in return. I'm going to love you the best I can, but I expect one thing from you, woman. You must encourage me. You must tell me good things about me every day. And every husband certainly likes to hear his wife tell him good things, right? So this guy wants to be encouraged. Tell me good things. Keep me encouraged. There's nothing wrong with this desire, but the problem came when his desire grew too big and he began to take shape of an idol. What's an idol? Idol is anything we worship, right? Some desires start out small. The problems come when they are fed and grow into demands. We call them needs. to make them sound better. I need this. I need you to tell me you love me. I need you to act like this. I need you to be like, I need. And then when you don't get, you throw a fit, right? With this particular man, his anger signaled that his desire had become demands. His anger said, I demand that you encourage me. If you don't, I am going to punish you with my anger. The line between want and demand is thin. When in doubt, assume that your anger is disguised in a selfish demand. In the book of James, it says, what causes fights and quarrels among you? Do they come from your desire to battle within you? You want something, but you don't get it? You adulterous people, don't you know that friendship with the world is hatred toward God? Anyone who chooses to be friend of the world becomes an enemy of God. Submit yourselves then to God. Resist the devil, and he will flee from you. Come near to God, and he will come near to you. Grieve, mourn, and wail. Change your laughter to mourning and your joy to gloom. Humble yourself before the Lord, and he will lift you up. So the connection to God, again, see the connection to God? You are ticked off at somebody you thought it was between only you and that other person, but it isn't. Anger is most always a sign that you demand something and you aren't getting what you demand. I was thinking about that when I read that because I just kind of combed through this morning. When I get pissed, it's usually because whatever I'm going to do or whatever I want, and I always want things to flow smoothly. I throughout the day, I kind of lay out a linear plan of what I'm going to accomplish and where I'm going to go, where I'm going to be. Anything that interrupts that and knocks me off my little linear plan, I get pissed. And that's my selfish desire of wanting what I want, and I want it now, and I don't want any interruptions. No life on life terms here, pal. And, and that's why, like yesterday, I wasn't too angry, but it was just like a real quick knee-jerk reaction. I always carry around my big thing of water so that I can stay hydrated, right? Drinking a gallon of water is very important to me. And I was on my way to the gym and I forgot it. I left it at the house and just as soon as I remembered I forgot it, I punched the steering wheel. I was like, fuck. And that's just something that interrupted my linear plan. My knee-jerk reaction was to be upset. And when we start putting those expectations on people, like our wives or our husbands or moms and dads and stuff, and we expect them to act a certain way towards us. And then when they don't do that and we start getting pissed at them, it's because we've created an idol and an expectation, which turns right back into what the beginning of this book said, resentments. And resentments, according to the AA guidelines, is a number one offender. It destroys more alcoholics than any others because then you're bitter, you're resentful. They walk in the room and you're already pissed off because you don't get what you think you want. And you just keep carrying it around because you're selfish. Because we, as a human race, are selfish people. Good morning, Sky. Glad to see you. Thanks for being here. Love you. What do you think about that? Does it kind of ring? Do you see yourself do that in your relationships? There's something you want. You expect this other person to give it. And they might not even understand your expectations. It may be an unrealistic expectation. Maybe it's because I think a lot of times, especially in relationships, so maybe husbands and wives, we have these unrealistic expectations of our other partner because we're watching fantasies. We're watching movies. We're watching pornography. We're watching whatever, right? Something that's filling our mind with a fantasy of not real life. And then we expect that to kind of bleed off into our lives and hope that it is like that in our bedroom, or it's like that in our way we interact in public, or way we interact around the house. And it's not like that. And I'm not getting this feeling that I see on TV. And then we get pissed off about it because reality is it's two sinful people, two broken people most of the time that have to live with each other and need mutual encouragement. And we can't expect that. And then we get resentful towards that person. And then we just walk around and we're never satisfied. And no matter what this other person does in our life to try to please us, it's never going to be good enough, because we have an expectation that's usually unrealistic. Fights and quarrels. What causes fights and quarrels among you? Don't they come from your desire, the battle within you? You want something, but you don't get it. So, what does the passage say that quarrelsome people are adulterous? Why does this passage say that quarrelsome people are adulterous? What does it mean that you are a friend of the world and an enemy of God? That's a strong, strong word. Brant says, yes, sir. Guilty of it completely. I don't think there's a person in here not guilty, brother. Two guilty people looking right at each other. Notice how change begins, because it's talking about God, talking about the world, talking about enemy of God, right? So how does the change begin? When does this change begin? When you submit yourself to God. It says, do you see the connection between quarrels and relationships with God? Even if you were not thinking about God at all. That stupid alarm, man. Now it's going off again. Sorry. It's very distracting. It's like totally takes a chunk of my brain and throws it out the window. So do you see the connection between quarrels and your relationship with God, even if you're not thinking about God at all? If you need more clarity, something Jesus said, although certainly got angry when he saw oppression, he was never angry when it was about himself. So Jesus looked out, he saw oppression. Remember when he cleansed the temple? You ever heard that story about Jesus walking into the temple? And he's like, this is my Father's house, and you're turning it into a marketplace. And he gets a whip and he kicks everybody out and spills the money changers and all that stuff. He'd get upset at that kind of oppression, right? Because those people were fooling the other people. They were swindling them out of money. And there's a whole story behind that. But when it came to people attacking himself, when he's hanging on the cross or when they were trying to throw rocks at him and stone him to death, he says, when they hurled their insults at him, he did not retaliate. When he suffered, he made no threats. Instead, he entrusted himself to God who judges justly. His secret was that he determined that he would not be the judge. He would relinquish that task to the Father, and he was certain that his Father would judge justly. Instead, he would love and serve. So in contrast, when you get angry, you are usually a vigilant party of one. Okay, you're angry, right? You judge. You're the judge. You become the judge. You become the jury, and you become the executioner. I'm not getting what I want. I decided it's because of this, and I'm going to execute it by acting like this towards you. And really, it's all your fault. It comes right down to you. You're saying, God, I don't trust you to give that person what he or she deserves. So I'm going to play God on this one. List at least a handful of resentments, times you were angry or hurt, when the problem was, at least in part, your own pride and selfishness. When you're angry or hurt, in some part, there lies your own pride and your own selfishness, trying to be the ruler of the kingdom and stay in control of all. As you get healthier, you will hunger for more skill and wisdom in relationships. And then this is a little bit of a practical wisdom that will serve you well. Jesus said, why do you look at a speck of sawdust in your brother's eye and pay no attention to the plank in your own eye? How can you say to your brother, let me take the speck out of your eye, when all the time there's a huge plank in your own? You hypocrite, first take the plank out of your own eye, and then you will see more clearly to remove the speck from your brother's eye. And that goes with relationships too, you know? Good morning, Morgan Green. How you doing? I'm working on that every single day to better, not just for me, but also for everybody I affect on a daily basis. Same here, bro. Same here. All right, let's jump into the just for today real quick. Practicing honesty. When we feel trapped or pressured, it takes a great spiritual and emotional strength to be honest. In chapter 5 in the big book, if you do not have a big book, get a big book. If you're part of our local program, you don't have a big book, get one off our shelf and read and reread chapter 5. That's where you find the 12 steps is in there, but the paragraph right above it, the paragraph right above the 12 steps is where it's at. It's about honesty and about people who actually, they're not going to make it if they don't. Like it basically, in a nutshell, says if you can't be honest, you're going to fail. And you need to be honest to work these steps. When we feel trapped or pressured, it takes great spiritual and emotional strength to be honest. Many of us try to wiggle out a difficult spot by being dishonest, only to have to humble ourselves again later and tell the truth. Some of us twist our stories as a matter of course, even when we could just as easily tell the plain truth. Every time we try to avoid being honest, it backfires on us. Honesty may be uncomfortable, but the trouble we have to endure when we are dishonest is usually far worse than the discomfort of telling the truth. Isn't that funny? I was talking about that yesterday. I'm listening to this old stoic dude, right? He's like, he wrote all this stuff down like 162 AD, just barely at AD, you know? And he's not writing anything we don't know. And he's talking about our love of being rewarded. We love it. And it made me think about doing laundry and you find $5 in your pocket. I talked about this last night in group. You find that in your pocket. You're like, yes, I love that. But we won't work towards things that reward us. We love it when we're sitting in line at Starbucks and the person, we get up to the teller and they're like, hey, that guy just paid for you. Your coffee's free today. Yes, I love that stuff. We love being rewarded, but we don't actively pursue things that give us constant reward, loving other people, taking care of ourselves, going and doing and disciplining ourselves to get the things out of life that actually is 100% tried and true rewards. And the same thing with us being honest. Honesty may be uncomfortable, but the trouble we have to endure when we are dishonest is usually far worse. Like in the moment, we're so scared to be honest that we tell lies, but then the dominoes fall and it becomes more uncomfortable later on. Instead of just facing it up front, setting your alarm, getting out of bed, going to do the stuff that you need to do to pursue a day that's going to bring reward, just be honest, right? In that moment. It's so weird how we're wired to just fear and run and hide. Honesty is one of the fundamental principles of recovery. We apply this principle right from the beginning of our recovery when we finally admit our powerlessness and our unmanageability. We continue to apply the principle of honesty each time we are faced with the option of either living in fantasy or living a life on its own terms. Learning to be honest isn't always easy, especially after covering up and deception so many of us practice in our addiction. Yeah. It's like, how do you become honest when all you've ever done is lie? Like that's your natural, just like me punching the steering wheel and getting pissed off because I forgot my water. A lot of people right out of addiction, their knee-jerk reaction is to lie. And it's hard to change. Our voices may shake as we test our newfound honesty. But before long, the sound of the truth coming from our own mouths settles any doubts. Honesty feels good. It is easier living the truth than living a lie. Just for today, I will honestly embrace life with all its pressures and demands. I will practice honesty even when it is awkward to do so. Honesty will help, not hurt my efforts to live clean and recover. Couldn't agree more. Chapter 5, big book. Get her done. Give her done. All right. So in August, if y'all don't know, now you know. In the Discord, I dropped a link in the description, or I dropped a link in the chat. But in here, we have monthly challenges now. And this month's challenge in August is this. Number one, identify your daily routine and look for ways to improve it by 1% better every day. Remove things that don't add value and replace them with habits that do add value. So just like for the first week of this August challenge, and obviously these challenges aren't just for 30 days and then you stop. This is hopefully to set habits in the lifelong pursuit of bettering yourself and growing. So just kind of start evaluating. Don't get all stressed out about it. Like, oh my God, what do I do? It doesn't have to be done today. You got a whole life to live of this, right? Start looking at like, okay, like this morning, I got up, I hit snooze once, rolled up out of bed. And my first thing I try to do as I'm sitting up is to just instantly say, thank you for another day that I'm awake and I can serve you. I thank you, Lord, for the air I'm breathing. Thank you for a great night's sleep, whatever it may be, right? I just try to be thankful first thing. And that's just a mindset that I want to glorify God, and I want to get my mind instead of like, ugh, I hate today. My leg hurts. Oh my God, my back's stiff. I don't want to get out of bed, instead of just complaining out of the gate. I want to, if this is for me personally, to be thankful as soon as I wake up. Then I get up, grab some clothes, and come downstairs. And this is my routine. Straight to the coffee pot, get that thing going. Then I sit down, and I've already been trying to improve for the last 4 or 5 months, I've been trying to improve this morning routine of mine. And so I come and I sit here as the coffee's brewing. I'm just like, you know how your eyes are when you're trying to wake up. And so instead of going to Facebook or TikTok or Netflix or any of those, social medias that I used to go to just right out of bed, I purposely don't. I just flip open my Bible app and I just try to get my mind into a different space immediately rather than just the busy chaos of this world. So just look at the stuff that you do throughout the day. And then I go live right now, and then I'm going to go exercise, and then I'm going to come home. I'm going to do some work, clean the house, get my laundry done, and I'm just going to try to 1% better everything I do today. So just look at throughout your day today. Look at little habits you do that you may not even realize that you have. Like all of a sudden you just catch yourself in between moments of busyness. Like, what do? Do you grab your phone and go to a social app? Where do you walk somewhere? What do you do? Just look at everything you do and don't get all stressed out about it. You're just looking at it, and then look at ways to make it better. If you see that anything throughout this day is not valuable, get rid of it and replace it with something that you think will add value, and then test it out and just keep trucking through the day and keep building. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. This isn't going to happen overnight. It's just something we continually do and grow. So that's number one. And then journal about it. Thank you. Appreciate that. Thanks for being here. Thanks for tuning in. Number two, get control of your sleep schedule. The goal behind this one is discipline. Since I've gotten control of my sleep schedule, exercise and eating right, it's made everything in recovery better. Everything. Do I still struggle? Have my challenges? Absolutely. But it helps. It's like driving on the freeway and you're driving out of town and your gas mileage is crappy and the car's not riding very well. And it just seems like the motor's struggling harder than it should be on the freeway. And you get out and all 4 of your tires are half deflated, right? By getting control of your sleep schedule and your exercise and your eating habits, just improving those all a little bit is like having full air tires, like the tires are fully aired up and just smoothly running down the freeway. Hell, it helps that much. So getting control of your sleep schedule on number two, the goal is discipline. So set a time, whatever you like. Do you need 8 hours of sleep? I'm about a 6 hour sleeper. I'm perfect at 6 hours. So I set my lights out a lot. Last night I did it, and I was in the middle of a show that I wanted to watch, and I was like, nope, this is about discipline. So 12:30 hits, I shut everything down, lights out, and I just start falling asleep. Then my alarm is set for 5:30, and my plan is to wake up either at 5:30 or 6. Either one's fine by me, as long as I'm up within that half an hour. So the goal is discipline. Pick for yourself a time to shut the lights off, no matter what. Even if you feel restless, I can't sleep, I can't, shut off the noise, shut off the lights, and start actively pursuing a sleep schedule. Your body will come around. Eventually, your hormones will start to fill the cycle. The melatonin, natural melatonin, will start to be released about ready when it's bedtime. And then as you go through a couple sleep cycles, and then all of a sudden the lights start to get bright, and that sends the chemicals through your body, and that starts waking you up. And eventually, 2-3 weeks, a month from now, you'll be in a sleep cycle to where you won't even have to shut the lights off. Just right at that time, your body's like, oh, this is the time. And that just improves your whole day. So get control of your sleep schedule. Discipline. Give yourself a time for lights out. Do it no matter what, no matter how you feel. And then wake up. As soon as that alarm goes off, peel yourself up out of bed, walk around for 10 minutes groggy, get some coffee, and shake it off. Because if you wake up an hour earlier than you got to go to work, or if you wake up 5 minutes before you got to get to work, you still got to shake off that groggy feeling. One of them, you just have pressure to get to where you got to be so you're not late. Hey, Danny, what's up, brother? Good morning. Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. This is going to be our special guest next Sunday, y'all. Special guest on the Sunday night live stream, Dan Jr. joining us. He's going to tell his story. I'm excited for that one. So those are the two big ones. Those are the two big life adjusters in our daily, in our challenge this August. And then obviously the ones that will always be there. 10 things you're grateful for and 10 things you like about yourself. 45 minutes of some type of moving exercise outside is preferable. Try to drink a gallon of water every day. Drink a gallon, man. Water is good for your body. It's fuel. And then 15 minutes of reading or listening to a nonfiction book. And you can habit stack this stuff, right? That gallon of water can be drank in increments throughout 16 hours of your whole day. 45 minutes of some type of workout, you can actually listen to your nonfiction book longer. That's a great place to listen to that. And you've killed two birds with one stone. And then post it in your own Discord channel. And these are the people we have in with us this time. We got Savage Freedom. She is posting her awesome stuff. She's struggling right now. She's got a little broken collarbone going on, which sucks. It sucks to be winged and have pain and to not be able to, being held back. It's like when I've had surgery on my knees and you're out. You're out of the game for a minute. There's nothing you could do but just move around it, and it sucks. She says, my 1% improvement set alarms on my phone during the hours I have the most screen time to remind me I have more meaningful things to do. I also deleted apps that are not useful for me. Awesome. Going through your phone and finding wasting time social media apps. That's a great one. Good job. And she lights out 11:44. Love it. Geesh, how did he do yesterday? Right? August 2nd. That's today. Good job. Let me zoom out a little bit. So August 1st, Geesh is in. Is it back to hot again? Woke up before 6. Check. Gallon of water. Check. Today's grateful for his car, his bike, his house, dinner, the family. Dude, you're making me so proud. Things he likes about himself: honest, responsible, reliable, hardworking, teachable, patient, determined, open-minded, empathetic, spiritual, capable, strong, and driven. Awesome. You like that about yourself? Geesh likes that about himself. That's awesome. He's listening to Gratitude by Oliver Sacks on Audible. Went on a walk. He did some yoga. Struggling but stretching out through the pain. Nice. Good job, brother. His 1% improvement is to spend less time zoning out on his phone. No more YouTube shorts and reading irrelevant articles to pass the time. I'm going to replace that time I waste online with meditation, rest, and household chores that I tend to procrastinate and devote more time to active activities. Beautiful. Get rid of stuff that doesn't add value to your life and replace it with stuff that does add value to your life. Beautiful, Geesh. And then this morning, he's already up 4:48 a.m. and he's doing yoga this morning, getting all stretched out and listening to the Daily Stoic. That's a good podcast. The Daily Stoic. Jen Ray, how did she do yesterday? July, way behind. Whoa. August 1st, doing some journaling, been clean. The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. She's out doing her beautiful walk. Nice place to walk. A little cemetery action going on. Hanging out with friends. And then today, improved. Went to sleep by 12 last night, up at 7. Awesome. Good job, Jen Ray. Carpenter says, broke my foot, leg, and ankle. Oh my God, but the collarbone hurt the worst. Oh, we got a prayer out there, Steph. That's good. I broke my hand and my collarbone. Never broke anything else other than that. Knock on wood. Well, my son Link, he's broken damn near every bone in his body. Go. Good job, Jen Ray's in. She's still rocking it. Renee, Reborn Lows. August 2nd. Wow, she's already up early this morning. Oh, she's ahead of us. That's okay. That's good. Australia. Going out on walks. Beautiful day for walking. Overdid it a bit, but tired. That's okay. 10 things she's grateful for. Posting it in here. We'll be holding each other accountable. And on top of this, holding each other accountable, like, hey, look, I'm doing it. And it's not really like, thanks for holding me accountable. The opposite end of that too is, hey, thanks for letting me see what you've done and leading by example. Now I'm encouraged to continue to do it as well. And then you can look back, like the people that have been doing this since May. There's about 4 of us in here that have been doing these monthly challenges for like the last 4 or 5 months. Have this huge like history of a journal of where they started, just documented for them. It's awesome. Look back and see where you've come. Measure things. JV, this dude's rocking it. One of the best stories out there. 3 types of addiction: gambling, overeating, and alcohol. And he has a board. He's charting how much sobriety he's got. He's lost 400 some odd pounds of weight. He's about to run a marathon. Like, dude has an amazing story. Talk about discipline. This guy got it. He gets it. He click, discipline. This is what I need to do to make my life healthy, better, because I don't want to ever live like that again. This guy is inspirational. B. Jens. Wow, that is a pretty picture. Love it. Atomic Habits. Yes. The introduction, my story. Dude, perfect book. And we'll be going through that on Sunday night still too. But this Sunday, we have a special guest. He's going to start by listening to a book or a podcast before I start my day. Very good. Get into a good headspace and a positive, beautiful. Sleep schedule's pretty good. Well, if it doesn't need to be fixed, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. 10 things he's grateful for: wife, children, family, house, car, health. Love it. He loves his smile and his eyes. Ooh, I love your eyes too, buddy. My laugh, my ability to do things, strong hands, fingers, my toes. Grateful. Dude, I love it. Love it. Good morning, everybody. He's up. He's here now. All right, Mikey. How you doing? Uh-oh. Are you still in? I'm still in. Just been a battle with bronchitis the last. Oh, that's a bummer. So the rule of this one, because we're at the end of this challenge. At the end of this challenge, the people that have posted and worked hard on this all 30 days, I'm going to put in a drawing. We're going to do a whole Recovery Addict merch set, hat, hoodie, journal, all that stuff. We're going to send it to you. So stick with it. And then little Miss Happiness, I don't know if she's back in it. Oh, she's there. 1% better. I tend to spend my mornings laying on the couch. I'm going to get, oh, yeah. All right. Good job, little Miss Happiness in the game still. Very cool. Very cool. What are y'all doing today? Everybody at work? Everybody's phones down? What is it, Wednesday? No, it's Tuesday. What day is it? It's Tuesday. Beautiful Tuesday. Beautiful weather here in Utah. It rained. So I'm going to go on a bike ride because it's going to be amazing. What else could we look at? This morning? Nada, cunada. Awesome, y'all. I will see you guys Thursday morning. I will be back. So until then, do not put yourself in a high-risk situation. Stay strong, work your program, and remember, we recover better together.